Hello and welcome back. My name's Sam Barber, and you're listening to episode 7 of A Light in the Dark, my songwriting journey. This is my very first podcast of 2022, and I would like to wish you all a very happy new year. Best wishes for 2022, and may all your dreams become a reality. For those of you who are familiar with Twitch TV, I've recently opened an account, yes, you guessed it, Sam Barber Music, where starting from February this year, I hope you can join me every weekend for original songs and chit-chat about my experiences as a teacher, musician, and writer. That's twitch.tv/Sam Barber Music. Since my last podcast in September last year, I've been very busy with a number of projects and additions to both the Sam Barber Music and Teacher Ham brands. Namely, a brand new Instagram page for Teacher Ham, www.instagram.com/teacher.ham. I've been further working on my personal website, www.sambarber.com, making available all of my latest news and music to download. I'm pleased to announce that my podcast series has now been downloaded over 330 times across 6 continents. I'm incredibly grateful, and I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone who supported the project. Other news includes my debut album. 4 songs reached the semi-finals of the prestigious 2021 UK Songwriting competition in various categories. They were So Near Yet So Far, Growing Pains, Love Is In Our Hands, and Let's Join Hands in the adult, contemporary, rock, love, and crisis songs categories, respectively. The album was an eligible album for the 2021 SAY Awards, that is the Scottish Album of the Year award, and it was longlisted for the 2021 Celtic Music Radio Album of the Year as well. I was a nominee in 2 categories, Male Songwriter of the Year, Personal Portfolio, and Album of the Year at the 2021 Josie Awards. Although I didn't win any of these, it was an incredible feeling just to be involved. Track 8 from Let's Join Hands, Freedom Wheels, is currently a finalist in the male category, 4th Annual Blues and Roots Radio International Song Contest. Fingers crossed. A lot of my free time in the last quarter of 2021 was spent on refining my debut novel for children, The Litterbug, for publication. This story was originally a drama I wrote for my school drama team, and since August of 2020, I began to hone it into a story of over 17,000 words. I've been working with a literacy consultancy in the UK, and under the mentorship of renowned children's author Miss Sandra Glover, I met my self-imposed deadline of mid-December to submit the manuscript and illustrations to the publisher in the UK. I'm now going over the final details. The Litterbug will be published on all platforms in both hardback and ebook formats later this spring. Watch this space for more details of an online book launch and more. Right. Seeing as you're now back up to date, let's go all the way back to February 2020 and look at today's offering, which is a discussion of the next musical project I worked on after my charity single for the homeless, Street Sleeper. That is the song Let's Join Hands, and what this all led to. The process of writing it, revising and recording it. Let's start. On February the 15th, 2020, the world was just learning about the emergence of COVID-19, initially discovered from the Chinese city of Wuhan. Living in Hong Kong, we received this news relatively quickly, and the images coming out of the city were distressing. It was a very scary time, and in my 13 years of living in Hong Kong, I'd never seen the roads and underground trains, or the MTR as we call it, so quiet. All kindergarten, primary and secondary schools had closed in late January, and in the days and weeks to come, we waited at home for more news. I felt compelled to write a song for Wuhan and its people. I sat down, and very soon I had a little hook and a melody line for the chorus. The lyrics at the time were "Remember Wuhan," but upon further revision, I changed this to "Let's join hands." I considered this line as the fundamental message of the song, and as a tribute to the people suffering from COVID-19 at the time, and the healthcare workers battling so hard to contain things. The song was finished in around 1 week, and I had a feeling the song was of a good standard. I contacted my friend, Mr. Jim Rafferty, a singer, songwriter, and artist I have the utmost respect for. He is, of course, the elder brother of the late Jerry Rafferty, one of my all-time favorite artists. Jim was gracious and generous in his feedback and critique of the song, suggesting small changes here and there, especially regarding the flow of the words, which helped to shape the song and bring it to the point where I might record it. I set about working on the song with good friends, fellow Scots, Steve MacDonald, a singer-songwriter and artist based in England, and Wallace Mayer, a singer-songwriter based in Australia. We had recently shared our thoughts on working on a long-distance music project together, and I suggested my brand new song "Let's Join Hands" as the first offering. Both Steve and Wallace were hugely generous with their time and talents, and Steve had soon produced the song from his home studio, adding in synths and MIDI instruments to help lift the song. Wallace then added in backing vocals, and my wife June also did the same. Therefore, the recording and production process was a real microcosm of the message the song wished to convey, that of hope, resilience, and overcoming adversity through teamwork. The song now spanned several countries and really embodied this beacon of hope I had so desired it to be, and hence my passion to finish the project and share the song with the world. My approach to the writing of the song also evolved during the writing of Let's Join Hands. Prior to this song, I had always presented songs in their completed format to family and friends for critique and advice, etc. The process of songwriting was very much a private and individual venture, done behind closed doors, so to speak. However, very early on in the writing process, and once a rough demo was recorded of Let's Join Hands, I started to share it out to close friends for perusal. These included my wife, Jim Rafferty, and my friend, an old classical guitar teacher from my days at university in Edinburgh, the critically acclaimed guitarist and composer Simon Thacker. The feedback was positive and further encouraged. I had lots to go on to hone the song further in the days and weeks that followed. By letting others into the process at this early stage of the song's development, I felt this process was very beneficial for the final product. Although more time-consuming, it was well worth it. Late that spring, the song quickly captured media attention, and my friend and fellow educator, Mr. Michael Ogopsovich, wrote an article on the song in his weekly column for Ming Pao Daily, a newspaper in Hong Kong. He had published an article on my charity track, Street Sleeper, earlier in the year, and both articles were very much appreciated. Around March of 2020, Stevie and I had decided to try and record a debut album of my songs together via long distance. A combination of home studios, emails, WeTransfer, etc. I had originally planned to return to Scotland that summer for a holiday with my family and also record the album at Stevie's studio, Ham and Egg Studio in Ayrshire. However, it quickly became apparent that travelling was off the table, and as these plans fell through, we embarked on this new venture, not knowing what to expect. In April, we embarked upon the first song, Unicorn, which ended up becoming track 3 of the album. After the song was completed, I sent it to renowned mastering engineer and fellow Scot Pete Mayer for the finishing touches from his London studio. The results were very encouraging, and Stevie and I were delighted. Full of confidence, we proceeded to work on the other songs of the album, one by one, in a detailed and deliberately slow manner, often involving phone calls and discussions late into the night and email after email of honest feedback. Stevie and I built up our friendship and intuitive sense of how to approach songs. In the coming months, Stevie would also take over the production of the final version of the song Let's Join Hands, building on the solid work of Steve and Wallace. In May 2020, I was invited to perform on the prestigious Hong Kong arts and cultural show, The Works, on RTHK, one of the leading television stations in Hong Kong. The show would involve an interview and live performance of one song. After exactly 3 years since making a deliberate and conscious decision to give everything I had to making my music a success in April 2017, I had reached one of the major milestones of my early music career, a live TV performance. I had recently played on radio in Hong Kong and Scotland and began to establish regular airplay and some awards, but performing on TV was certainly a step up. I was absolutely honoured, and not to mention slightly apprehensive at the thought of being on daytime TV to a city of approximately 8 million people. Having said this, it was a fantastic opportunity, and I embraced it by rehearsing and preparing what I would play early on. Initially, RTHK had contacted me as they had heard about my work on Street Sleeper, and at first they requested I play this. However, instead I suggested playing Let's Join Hands, which I thought would be perfect for that time with the onset of COVID-19 around the world. This was my chance to show my sincerity. As I had learned with Street Sleeper and subsequent other songs, when writing from the heart, the songs are always true to you. I also feel people can resonate with them easier if the message is clear, true, and easy to understand. If the message is sincere, an honest song will also, more often than not, find its place, and Let's Join Hands had now found its place on TV. The show was aired on the 17th of June 2020 around 4 p.m. in English, and again on the 21st of June in Cantonese. I remain deeply indebted to everyone involved with the production. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I look forward to appearing on the show again in the near future. By now, work on the album was in full flow, and the warm reception from the show gave me added confidence to kick on with the project and release the album as soon as possible. Well, that's all for this episode, folks. I hope that you can tune in for episode 8 next time, where I will continue sharing the stories of the songs that made up my debut album, Let's Join Hands. If you'd like to support the show, there are many ways to do so. You can subscribe to my Facebook and YouTube pages for more updates and join my Facebook group, Sam Barber Music. Also, if you would like to ask a question about this podcast or previous ones or anything at all, you can email me at sambarbermusic@gmail.com. I'd love to hear about your songwriting experiences and journey. If you like my music, you can download it directly from my new website, www.sambarber.com, or from my Here Now page, sambarber.herenow.com. You can also make a donation via my PayPal tip jar link. Your support is sincerely appreciated. Believe in yourself, believe in your songs, believe in your message. Enjoy the journey. Until next time, take care and stay safe. Thank you for listening.